Hi everyone, I'm Jessie, and welcome to the channel. Let's talk about something I know so many of you struggle with: the daily walk with your dog. Does it feel less like a peaceful stroll and more like an intense, arm-yanking workout? Are you constantly being dragged from one smell to the next, feeling frustrated and maybe even a little embarrassed? If you're nodding along, then I want you to know that today is your turning point. You are in the right place. In the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through my proven method to stop your dog from pulling on the leash. And the best part, we're going to do it gently, effectively, and without any of those intimidating, fancy, or expensive training tools you might have seen online. I promise, you don't need to be a certified professional dog trainer to achieve this. All you need is a little bit of patience and a better understanding of why your dog pulls in the first place, and then how to clearly communicate what you actually want them to do instead. By the end of this video, you'll have the exact steps to transform your walks from a stressful struggle into the joyful, connected experience they were always meant to be. So, let's start with the most important question. Why do our dogs pull on the leash? It's easy to think they're being stubborn, or dominant, or just trying to make our lives difficult. But the reality is much simpler. Dogs pull because, from their perspective, it works. Every single step they take while pulling, that moves them forward, closer to that interesting smell, that other dog across the street, or that friendly person they want to greet, is a reward. The pulling action gets them what they want. So their brain makes a simple connection. Pulling equals progress. It's an incredibly powerful, self-reinforcing behavior. Our job as their loving owners isn't to punish this behavior, but to flip that entire equation on its head. We need to teach them a new rule for the walking game. The new rule is this: walking calmly with a loose leash is what makes all the good stuff happen. Staying close to you is what gets them to that exciting destination. So, instead of the old school method of yanking them back, which often just creates more opposition and frustration for both of you, we're going to use their own motivation to our advantage. We're going to teach them that staying in that sweet spot right beside you is the most rewarding place to be on the entire planet. It's about making calm behavior more valuable than pulling. When we do that, the pulling naturally fades away because it no longer serves a purpose. It's a game changer, I promise. Now let's talk about what you'll need, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised by how simple this is. First, you need a standard 6-foot leash. That's it. Nothing fancy. Please avoid retractable leashes for this training. They actually teach the dog the opposite of what we want, constantly applying a little bit of tension and teaching them that pulling is how you extend the line. Next, you need a regular flat collar, or even better, a comfortable, well-fitting harness, especially a front clip one if your dog is a very strong puller. We are absolutely not using any choke chains, prong collars, or anything designed to cause discomfort. This method is all about positive reinforcement. And finally, the most important tool in your kit: some high-value, tasty treats. These should be small, pea-sized, and something your dog absolutely loves and doesn't get all the time. Think tiny pieces of chicken, cheese, or special training treats. Once you have your gear, the next step is choosing your training environment. This is crucial. Don't make the mistake of heading straight out to the busiest street in your neighborhood. We need to set our dogs up for success. Start somewhere incredibly boring, with as few distractions as possible. Your hallway, your living room, your backyard, or even a quiet driveway is perfect. The fewer things competing for your dog's attention, the more they can focus on you and the new game we're about to teach them. Success in a quiet place is the foundation for success in the real world. All right, let's get into the first practical step. Before you even think about taking a single step forward, we're going to reward calm beginnings. With your dog on the leash beside you, just stand still and wait. Don't say anything, just wait. Your dog might sniff around, fidget, or look everywhere but at you, but eventually, there will be a tiny moment of stillness. Maybe they stand calmly beside you for a split second, or they sit down the instant you get that little moment of calm. I want you to mark it by saying yes in a happy, upbeat tone and immediately give them a treat right by your leg. What we're doing here is capturing a behavior that, yes, acts like a camera shutter, telling your dog that what you did right then is what earned you this reward. This tiny moment of calm is the bedrock of everything that follows. Practice this a few times until your dog starts to offer that calm behavior more quickly. Now for the core of the method, the stop and reset. This is where the magic really happens. From your calm starting position, take just 1 or 2 steps forward. The moment you feel any tension on that leash, the very second your dog starts to pull ahead, you're going to do one simple thing. You stop walking completely. Become a tree. Don't yank the leash back. Don't scold your dog. Just plant your feet and freeze. The forward movement, which is what your dog wants, immediately ends. Now, you wait. Your dog will likely keep pulling for a moment, then they'll get confused. Eventually, they will turn to look back at you like, "Hey, why did the fun stop?" Or the leash will naturally loosen as they ease up. That is your golden moment. The instant that leash goes slack, mark it with a cheerful yes. Reward them right by your side, and then immediately try taking a few steps forward again. I know, it might feel tedious at first. On your first attempt, you might only get a few feet down the path in 5 minutes. That's okay. Be patient. Every single time you stop, you are teaching your dog a crystal clear lesson. Pulling on the leash makes the walk stop. A loose leash makes the walk start again. You are removing the reward for pulling and actively rewarding the correct behavior of a loose leash. This simple, non-confrontational technique communicates the rules of the game in a way your dog can easily understand. It's not a battle of strength. It's a lesson in cause and effect. As you're practicing the stop and reset, we're going to add another layer to make you more interesting than the environment. We need to keep them engaged with you. As you're walking along on that beautiful loose leash, randomly and in a happy, exciting tone, say your dog's name or a cheerful cue like, "Let's go," carry on walking, and the moment their head turns back to look at you, or they check in with you, mark it with yes, and give them a treat. You can even switch directions right after they check in, making the walk more unpredictable and fun. What you're doing is teaching them that paying attention to you is incredibly profitable. It pays better than sniffing that random patch of grass. You are proactively rewarding them for choosing to connect with you, building a powerful habit of checking in. This turns the walk from your dog pulling you around to you and your dog exploring the world together as a team. A loose leash walk is a side effect of a dog that is engaged with its handler. Now, let's cover a few common mistakes that can sabotage your progress. The biggest one is rushing the process. If you go out and your dog is constantly pulling, and you're having to stop every single step, the environment is too difficult. It's not a failure. It's just information. Go back to an easier, less distracting location and build up more success there first. Second, as I mentioned before, please avoid using a retractable leash for this training. It fundamentally teaches your dog to pull to get more freedom, which is the exact opposite of our goal. And finally, a huge one. Don't forget to reward the good stuff. It's easy to focus only on stopping when they pull, but you must remember to generously reward all the moments your dog is walking nicely by your side on a loose leash. That positive reinforcement is what makes the calm behavior stronger and more likely to happen again in the future. Tell your dog what you want, not just what you don't want. So, how do you take this from the quiet park to the busy streets? The key is gradual progress. Once your dog is walking beautifully and consistently on a loose leash inside your home and at the park, it's time to level up. Remember, you don't have to jump straight to the dog park or the city. Your next step might be your quiet front yard. Once you've mastered that, try a very quiet street early in the morning, then maybe a calm park trail during an off-peak hour. Each time you increase the level of distraction, you might have to go back to basics a little, using more frequent rewards and more stop and resets. That's totally normal. This gradual exposure builds confidence for both of you and ensures you're always setting your dog up to succeed. Before you know it, you'll be walking calmly through environments you once thought were impossible, with a happy, relaxed dog by your side. To wrap this all up, I want you to remember one thing. This training isn't about control. It's about clear communication and building a better relationship with your dog. The leash should feel like a telephone line, a soft connection between you, not a tug-of-war rope. By teaching your dog that calm walking and paying attention to you is the most rewarding thing they can do, you transform the entire experience. If this guide was helpful for you, please hit that subscribe button for more gentle and effective training tips just like this. And I genuinely want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments how your first calm walk goes. I know you and your dog are going to absolutely love your walks together from now on. Thanks for watching and happy walking.